Well, hi guys. I'm just back from my latest outing in the wild. I was testing a sleeping bag, the Wenger sleeping bag, and well, uh, today I have received something, so I decided to make in a hurry just before I haven't light anymore. Um, Excuse me for the pronunciation because my Russian is a bit rusty. It's a Plash Palatka, Plash Palatka, Plash Palatka. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but basically, it means two things. It means coat or poncho and tent. So basically, this is like the Zeltbahn, the NVA military square tarps made out of canvas, and the aim of using that is that you can put two together and make a tent, a kind of tipi. But you can also use it as a coat, and these are size 2. You have 1, 2 and 3. 1 is pretty small. 2 is advised for people around 180, excuse me, 180 meters high, and Model 3. I'm trying to get Model 3. I have paid $10 per piece, so it's really cheap. It's canvas, so it works well with the fire. And as you know, I'm working and trying to orient more my shelter making in the direction of Louis, the traditional way of having, that semi-shelter pointed at a fire. And I have Swiss Army, Swiss military aluminum tube. I'm not gonna cut a tree because I'm gonna be in a hurry. I'm gonna try to first build the half one. No, first I'm gonna show you how it's worn as a coat. So stay here, I'm gonna do that just right away. So, how do you like me with that? As you see, you have sleeve hole here. You can button that up on the front. It's good quality canvas. I'm pretty happy about that. Stakes holes in here. You have some more. It's not a square. It's more like kind of modified triangle. So, Batman. Okay. Now, what you have also is the possibility to use that to have, a hood like so. So here you have an idea of that. You can probably wear it with a pack without any worries, and as soon as you need to use it, I'm probably gonna add some mods to that one. Oh yeah, forgot to say, you have like on the old cowboy dusters a double layer on the shoulders, which is awesome. Up and here you have that triangle back again, buttons for the sleeves, 3 pieces, and I'm gonna shut them, prepare the shelter. I'm gonna see if I have enough battery to show you everything, or I find another solution. So, oh yeah, last thing is the central pole goes inside that pocket, so I'm gonna find a way just to be sure I don't rip it right away. Stay tuned. Okay, so see how it looks. It's as I've said, it's the first time I'm tightening it. I'm setting it up. So what I've done here, it was a bit problematic at first, but I've used a 6 meters long piece of paracord so that I could really tighten it up without having the cords over perhaps a fire or something like that. Of course, if I attach the top to a tree, it will function even better. I'm just gonna pump up the ISOs here. So, okay, it's a bit burnt, but you see inside the shelter, you've seen me, I can lay down inside. I'm about 185, something like that. Excuse me. So now, so that you see a bit more of it. So I've used basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stakes. Here is, I'm trying not to fall off the cliff, but here you see I could have tried another way. Next time I will do and test with another method of attachment. I just wanted to do it quickly. One thing I'm not very confident of is this piece here. As you see, if the rain comes, it may get down inside. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna add a zipper, YKK zipper, to it from here all the way down here on the outside, which means I will be able to close it and open it easily, but it will most of all, you know, protect a bit more, protect a bit more, like so. And I will see how it performs. Here you can see you could use that as a tightening point for the attachment. Yeah, so this is with only one poncho. I think in about 2 minutes you can make it without too many problems. I mean, it was the first time and it wasn't such a problem. So as I say, I'm just gonna put myself inside once again. So here I can lay down, having all my body protected. Imagine the wind coming from behind or perhaps across and having the fire just here. You can easily be, well, this is something I may modify or find another way around, just because I don't like to have a central pole. Basically it sucks when you want to take advantage of the fire, but it's also sometimes good. I like having, well, I hate having a central pole sometimes on smaller shelters, but I like to have one because I can hang my stuff on it, like my cook stuff for example, and I have it when I need it. I have it on the ready. It's a nice shelter. And now something I'm thinking about is perhaps with a very small wood stove, I mean really small, and with a small piece of tubing, you might be able to take advantage of that and having, you know, opening the shelter so that you can put your stovepipe here and having, you know, a little bit of heat inside. This is something I'm gonna try this winter. So not for right away, I will try to spend the night inside this system, and now right now I'm gonna try to build the Tipi. I'm not sure I will have enough video enough time on the video to show you the process of building the tipi. But as you've seen, both tarps were in my backpack. I did have pretty much everything I needed on hand, so let's see how it goes with 2 tarps. Okay, so no example of how I pitched it, but fortunately enough for me is that you haven't seen how I have not pitched it the right way. Actually, so here, so you can see, here you have a button and a second flap. So the way you have to pitch it, you put that through the button through both sides, so this made a kind of crocodile closure. And now it's not huge, let me say that, it's really not huge at all, but I'm gonna get inside just so you see how it goes. It did not take me that much time to repitch. Yeah, sorry, just wait 1 second. It's closed too well. Okay, so this is how it is, and now you have the advantage of seeing that poor bee going inside, or wasp. What was it? I don't know. So here I'm gonna pull the ISOs up. Okay. Here now I'm back inside. And well, it's actually, I can lay down in that direction. Excuse me for the crotch shots. That was unasked for, I know. Here, as you see, this is what I was talking about. Here you could have a small window for ventilation, or perhaps have a very small stove in the center of that place. And now, so here I'm fully enclosed. I have a tipi that has costed me no more than 18 Swiss francs, $18. I mean, it's a decent price. It's a really decent price for what you can achieve here. So now I'm gonna put it just on the opposite side. I hope you see well enough, but here I'm gonna put everything. So without a fire, I have a more than decent shelter with enough room to sleep. Excuse me, gonna remove what I have in my pocket right here. Too many things in my pocket. This is okay. So here I can have my full extended legs, and I mean, when it comes to, yeah, I can see what happens outside. Close it. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I love how it turned out. Pretty easy to pitch. You could sit if the weather was foul for too many days. you could stay inside, you know, whittling, preparing your stuff, and well, it will probably be a good shelter. I think really it could be a good shelter. It looks a bit small, of course. It's not very big, by far not the biggest shelter ever, but it's big enough, and you could of course have excuse me, I'm really on a small, so you could have just on the entrance of that shelter here a small fire, and perhaps open it a bit more, remove one stake or something like that. So, well, all in all, I think it's a really nice shelter system. And well, here it's not in the best camo environment, of course, but I mean, it could be discreet enough. And just gonna add the tripod so that I can show you my myself, not because you want to see myself, but to have a point of comparison. Excuse me, trying to do it all at once, sometimes it's not the best. Okay. Well tightened. I think it will hold fairly well in higher winds. It's pretty stable. You don't have a lot of options for guy lines or stuff like that. But well, what I'm gonna do right now is what could I do? Yeah, I'm gonna remove half of the shelter and try to make myself a nice cup of tea just before getting back home, and yeah, go to the to the stores before it closes. Yeah, I know. I also have to go to the stores. Of course, having two of these is interesting for several reasons. For example, when you are at camp, and like myself right now, not fully equipped, well, it's great to, you know, have a way to cover yourself, protect you a bit from the cold, because it's starting to get chilly in here. It's also good because if it rains and you have only the half shelter set up, you can, you know, go in the woods with that to protect yourself. Now, some recommendation when it comes to snow. It's waterproof to an extent, but I will oil it just to keep it a bit more efficient over time. And if you use something like that, I will tell you that I don't see that often enough, but people should have that way more, is a small sewing kit. I have one here with a lot of repair stuff. I will show you the smaller one, which is right here. I have enough for sewing leather, repairing buttons, as long as I don't break my line and needle. But it's really important to have that, especially when you use something that you can repair easily. I also have some duct tape on the outside, and in winter, if you use that for you know, kind of Arctic weather, my advice would be that you should absolutely get a brush to, you know, remove as much as possible this on your wear before getting near a fire, just because when you go near a fire with some snow on your cloth, it will melt and go and stick and go inside the fibers, and it's way more difficult to dry it afterwards. Now I don't know if how much it holds to fire, but as it's cotton, it's also something I would use to, you know, cover my sleeping bag if I work with the fire. You know, the fire just here, but see, I could tighten that a bit better. I'm seeing a stake that is getting out of the ground, but you know, being here with the fire just in front, pretty much where the camera is, would be an excellent setup. I will be pretty toasty during the night. For example, if I had only one wool blanket, for example, one not so powerful yeah, not so great sleeping bag, you know what I mean. So just want to show you one of my sewing kits. So here, please focus, my friend. Okay, I'm gonna try to put my no, this is the way I'm gonna do it. Okay, I hope you will see clearly enough. So here is a small pill box that I have used. I have a piece of jute twine just to get my stuff easily out, and in the bottom of it I have one grommet that works for my shoes, because it happens a lot to me, because I spend a lot of time in the rocks, in places with spikes, thorns and stuff like that, and you know, my shoelaces get caught on it, and I have busted with rocks sliding on my shoes, busted several of these, so I'm always keeping one at the bottom of the shoe. I have two repair pins, and here I have one loaded needle for standard tissue fabric, one spare, one loaded for leather, and one spare. So I have used sinew, artificial sinew, because it's strong and it works for many things, and I've used it a lot to repair my stuff. So I try to be always sure to have about 2 meters of twine with me, for it works for most repairs, but it's a very important kit. I mean, I wouldn't go in the woods without having that somewhere on my person, and I have a more substantial kit somewhere else on bigger expeditions, but on smaller one, you know, this can be just put inside my I don't know, even here up, I drop it and I forget it. The size is the size of an Elite Plus, so you know, these are the kind of things that it will probably not save your life as well, but you have a safety pin that can be turned into a fishing hook, and some strand that can be used as a fishing hook as well. This means you have something that that may work pretty well. I don't know, just saying, these are tricks I'm giving you. Excuse me. Not say you have to follow them, but if you do, you slightly reduce the risks of finding yourself in a bad situation. I mean, it's way easier to repair your backpack and your gear like so. Excuse me. I was trying to make a nice shot, and well, as I say, it's way easier to repair your stuff and be sure that you can finish your trip with something that is repaired than hoping to find something in nature that can help you to stitch. You can in some places, but repairing a backpack or something that's vital, it's way easier to have just that with you. If you snap a button, you have a way to replace it. So guys, thanks for watching and see you soon. I have the batteries out, so talk to you later. Cheers, guys. Oh yeah, one last thing I forgot to say that you have probably seen is that it's pretty steep when it's set up, which means that the rain and everything will flow pretty easily from the shutter, so you should be pretty safe when it comes to rain and stuff like that if you are if it's well oiled. And probably what I would do is add some loops at the corners to replace those metal rings, just so that it doesn't make a spot where water can get right through, and perhaps just leave a bit more ventilation down, so that if you use it to perhaps cook, if you don't use an alcohol burner or something that you can use in the tent, perhaps cook or so without any worries. So guys, thanks for watching and see you soon. Cheers.